Queen Mary Falls, Carr's Lookout, and the Moss Gardens. Queen Mary Falls is situated 150 kilometres southwest of Brisbane, in the Southern Downs region of Queensland. It is only a few minutes' drive from Browns Falls and Daggs Falls, which were featured in the last video. On arrival at the campground, we were greeted by numerous Australian birds in front of the office. King parrots, pink and grey gillars and crimson rosellas were feeding as we booked in. The birds were very friendly and came to inspect us. After setting up camp, we only had time for a short walk, so we studied the trail maps. There are two walks, the shorter cliff circuit and the longer and more challenging Queen Mary Falls circuit. We decided to do the shorter 20-minute walk. Be sure to read the warnings. This walk goes to the top of Queen Mary Falls, which is part of the headwaters of one of Australia's longest river systems, the Murray-Darling. Great care should be taken when viewing the gorge below. On the cliff circuit you see a variety of native birds and flora, and the remnants of a giant tree. Following the path along Spring Creek and crossing the footbridge, you soon arrive at the impressive lookout. Known as a retreating waterfall, Queen Mary Falls is slowly moving upstream as it erodes the trachyte surface it flows over. The collapse of the cliff beneath Queen Mary Falls occurred during the 1880s. The falls plunges 40 metres to where the collapsed cliff litters the valley floor. Looking down on the treetops and across the gorge, we see the route to the base of the falls we will take tomorrow. The spray from the falls constantly keeps the atmosphere at the base humid, and this affects the vegetation growing there. Back at camp, we prepare for the evening. During the night, a bandicoot wandered through camp. Bandicoots are small omnivorous marsupials found throughout Australia. The next morning, we set off on the 2 kilometres Queen Mary Falls circuit. Taking advice, we went clockwise around to avoid climbing up the long steep flight of stairs on the return to the top of the gorge. Camouflaged in the undergrowth is a water dragon. Can you see it? They can reach a length of 90 centimetres and have a central row of spikes from the base of the head and down the spine. There is a huge variety of vegetation to be seen, from forest giants to delicate plants. At the base of the gorge, the path meanders between large segments of collapsed cliff, and the roar of the falls becomes increasingly louder as you approach. We leave the damp environment at the base of the falls and zigzag up the opposite side of the gorge. As we ascend, the vegetation changes and becomes drier. Can you see the wallaby up ahead? Finally, after the steep climb, we once again reach the lookout. It is mesmerizing watching the water plunge to the valley below. Rain clouds gather, but we still decide to drive the 8 kilometers from the falls to the spectacular Carr's lookout. The view is stunning and overlooks the head valley to Mount Superbus, the scenic rim, Tambourine Mountain, and the headwaters of the Condamine River. Passing clouds dump rain across the landscape. In spite of the heavy intermittent showers, we drove on another 3 kilometers along the narrow winding road to the Moss Gardens. The Moss Garden track follows the 100-year-old rabbit-proof fence, which is located along the Queensland, New South Wales border for 555 kilometers. It was built to prevent the spread of rabbits into Queensland's farming areas. You pass a variety of native trees, including hoop pine, silky oak, and currajong. The cool temperate rainforest trees, vines, and rocks are covered in moss and lichen. The atmosphere is quite magical. A little further along, you get a view of Wilson's Peak and White Swamp through a veil of lichen. The waterfalls, walks and views in this area are spectacular and all in close proximity. Definitely recommended. With the prediction of increasingly heavy showers, we pack up and move on. Join us on more VanGo road trips at Deborah Brown. -IT5LN